the correct relationship to authority is that like this is just a person who knows more than me. The only true hierarchy is the hierarchy of competence. All other hierarchies are false hierarchies. And the healthy mind, it's not even a hierarchy, it's just an acknowledgement, right? A healthy mind understands competence instantly. It's again only our pride or insecurity that prevents us from acknowledging someone else's competence, right? So the correct, the healthy position of a leader is just someone who is more experienced, have more confidence. Therefore, their arguments or their directions are more likely to be true. It does not mean they're always true, but it's just they're more likely to be true. It doesn't mean they're never wrong, but just due to their experience, they're less likely to be wrong. That's a healthy approach to authority of any kind, be it myself, by the way, in your relationship with me, or professor of physics, or any sort of leaders. But that's not how the ego pictures authority. The ego always pictures authority in the language of status, obedience, fear, power, and things like that. And so it takes actually a very healthy person. Those are rare, but it takes a very healthy person, or at least a person very self-confident in their own authority, to only view the boss as someone who has more experience in their position, like for example, leading an organizing group of people working together, than this person. And that's the only reason why you should listen to your boss, right? It takes a very healthy mind to do that in a kind of a very pure way. But the more you do that, the more natural. I mean, the more you do the spiritual work, the more you will see this unhealthy relationship to authority, which is always either obedience or rebellion. So it's always either fear or fuck you. You know, it's always either, okay, I'm going to succumb to you, or I'm going to try to overpower you, because the ego cannot see anyone as equal. It always must be below or above. And so this unhealthy component of the authority, of your relationship to authority, is it gets exposed through continued exposition and feeling of suppressed emotion, is going to diminish. And the more healthy, like you said, just a natural, he's just a human being who maybe knows more than me in the particular area, it's going to slowly become more and more visible. So it will be kind of a process of elimination of the insecurity and opening up of the more natural way to relate to. Because you see, kind of even if you see a lot of people that appear to kind of naturally relate to authority in this way and don't have a lot of fear around their boss and stuff like that, you don't know what's going on in their minds. People are extremely well at pretending. I mean, I once say, enlightenment is basically a normality, actually. It's a sane human mind. But the problem with this society is that almost everyone pretends to be normal. So it's like, an example, like, your boss had an angry outburst with you, or was rude to you, right? So an enlightened mind is not touched by this at all, so it's not disturbed at all. So, okay, so maybe he's having a bad day, whatever, you say, well, all right, okay, well, thank you, we'll talk another day, right? But then you take a person who is greatly affected by it. Like, do you think he's gonna stand up and scream in front of everyone, like, who do you think you are? Why are you speaking to me this way? Who gave you the right? No, of course not. He will do exactly what kind of the most rational, wanted response everyone is expected. So she'll do something similar. He will say like, okay, well, have a good day. We'll talk about it later, something like that. So to the extent of his ability. So everyone will try to pretend. So everyone like pretends to be normal. And then he's gonna go home and like be, what the fuck? We'll talk to his wife. Like, who do you think he is? Like he was rude to me in front of everyone. Maybe I should quit or things like that. But it's not gonna make a scene. It's not gonna make a dramatic scene. He's not gonna show the contents of his mind to all of the colleagues, right? Even though something quite similar is going on in the mind. So for it to really flow effortlessly and genuinely, it takes a lot of practice. So the problem, one of the tragedy of the society is that everyone pretends. Everyone pretends to be normal. Everyone pretends not to be like really affected. And I once said, it's easy to pretend that you kind of okay. And it's easy not to pretend, meaning like when you're enlightened and you worked through most of your trauma and suppressed emotion, when it doesn't touch you, then it's easy. But in the middle, it's very difficult. So when you only stop learning to stop pretending and all of these pains become exposed, but everyone else is pretending, and it's very difficult for you to pretend. You feel pain much more acutely, and you don't want to pretend because it feels inauthentic, and you want to like tell him back something and really say what you think about it. In the middle, it's very difficult.